What's up? It's me, Brandon Green, owner of Go Up and Autoworks. First off, does anybody know how to fix this right here when the ceiling starts coming down? This is that Alcantara, the suede-like material in my G-Wagon, and over the years it's starting to come down. I got to get that fixed. I had to acknowledge that before somebody even says something in this video. Anyways, this video is about the MRSP of these brand new Mercedes that you all are financing or buying. And really this applies to any make and model, but I'm focused on Mercedes because that's what I give a lot of attention to, is Mercedes. Keep in mind that these overinflated brand new prices is justification for these automotive companies to get financing to continue developing these vehicles. The prices are continuing to go up, which creates or guarantees profit for these automotive companies, in this case Mercedes. I'm gonna just focus on Mercedes. When you buy a brand new Mercedes, like for $200,000, it's going to lose 50% of its value within probably average 3 years, maybe 4 years. I always recommend that you let somebody else buy these cars new, whether they lease them or they're trying to flex and prove that they can afford a brand new car. They're trying to pull up because they're important or they want to feel important. That's fine. Let them do that. I suggest that you buy it used. Wait about 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years before you buy that car. Find one that's been cared for, maybe even leased, and then it makes sense. If it business-wise makes sense for you to always have a new vehicle, the newest, latest, and greatest, then that's fine too. But it just has to make sense. Keep in mind that you are losing so much money. We call it depreciation. I call it overinflation of prices. It's never worth $200,000. I don't care what it is. No matter if it's an AMG, if it's a Maybach, these Mercedes are overpriced. So if you're getting an AMG, I mean, at least you're getting the power and the performance that makes you feel like your money was worth spending. But really, at the end of the day, it absolutely makes no sense, because what you are buying, this motor, transmission, electrical gadgets, some leather, something on wheels. I don't care how nice those wheels are. I don't care if they put a clear wrap to protect the paint. I don't care if they have lighting inside that changes colors, like all these things, nuances, whatever you want to call them, that makes you feel that make you feel that your car, that your money is actually going somewhere. It's not. These are just cars. Look at the cheapest cars out here, these Hyundais, these Kias, and look at the technology inside of those cars. It's like, wow, you guys are putting a whole lot into these cheap Korean cars. Well, you're doing the same thing with Mercedes. The Mercedes is not always even leather anymore. Sometimes Mercedes is what looks like leather. Sometimes Mercedes doesn't even use real wood anymore. In some cases, you're not getting what you're paying for. They don't use real chrome anymore. They're using an overlay, a plastic chrome-like overlay. Just remember, cars are getting cheaper or getting built cheaper, but cost is going up. You're paying too much for these vehicles. So if you want these high-end luxury vehicles, okay, just know how to buy them. Having a 2025, it's not saying much anymore. It's really saying that you are wasteful with your spending, unless it is a business or marketing move. You're positioning yourself to get more followers, which leads to monetization. If you're growing your business, you have to represent new and latest and greatest so that you can bring in clientele. Then it makes sense to me. Otherwise, it's horrible to try to impress your neighbors or your friends and pull up in a 2025 GLE with a $1,700 car payment, a month car payment. That $200,000, $150,000 to $200,000 that you're spending on these new cars, these new high-end luxury vehicles, if you bought a house with that, or some type of property that gains value, or you invested that into a business, or you started a business, that money is growing. It is now an investment, or you're buying an asset that you can borrow against without paying taxes, or you're using that money to grow and develop equity to use later on to maybe flip or to sell and have that extra money. But anytime you're spending $150,000 to $200,000 on a car, you're losing. Unless it is some type of classic collector vehicle that is already appreciating in value, That's another conversation. But we're talking about brand new luxury cars, brand new Mercedes in this case. It's dumb. A brand new S-Class. You're going to spend for a nice model, $140,000 to $200,000 on a new S-Class. And then 2 or 3 years later, it's going to be worth 70 to 80. And then another 2 or 3 years later, it's going to be worth 40 to 60,000, maybe. I don't know. Do you get the point? It goes down, 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 down. And if money to you is not a thing, fine. But those with money understand what I'm talking about. They know that their money is worth more when it's making money than it is when it's losing its value. And keep in mind that the US dollar is losing its value every year. It's worth less and less. Inflation goes up, your dollar is worth less. So find ways to make more money off of your dollar so that it can grow and gain value versus it losing value. So that means your purchases need to be smart. They need to be gaining instead of losing. Nothing wrong with having a luxury car. Just know how to buy it so that you decrease your losses. The value means everything, because if you're going to resell it, it means everything. If you're going to trade it in, it definitely means everything. If you just want to keep a brand new car, you're going to pay it off and you're going to keep it, I respect that as well. But just know that a $200,000 car or a $100,000 car that you paid money for plus interest is now going to be worth $20,000 by the time that you pay it off. If you can accept that, that's cool. If you can accept that, that's fine. That's fine. If you're going to finance something, try to pay it off as soon as possible so that less money goes towards interest, more goes to principal, more goes to paying it off. Decrease the amount of money that the banks make off of you. This whole cycle is designed to keep them wealthy and keep us poor. Just keep that in mind. So the only way that you can break that cycle, or you can break away from that chain, those chains, is to see what's really going on, acknowledge it, and then decide if you want to do something about it or contribute to the cycle. Most people, of course, are contributing to the cycle. The financial institutions are filthy rich and wealthy because of the interest that we pay. The money that we're putting into the banks, they're using it to loan out. They're making money off of our money while they're giving us 1 to 3% interest, or 1 to 3% annual, interest, for keeping our money in their institution. That's not much gain. You can do better if you buy a CD or if you invest in the stock market. I mean, and that's high nowadays. If you get 3% on your money on your checking or savings account, that's crazy right now. Usually it's way less than that. It's usually point something percent. You're not really gaining much interest, but they are gaining a whole lot of interest off your money. They're just loaning it out. You're giving it to them for them to invest because you don't know how to invest it. If they're investing it, then they're giving you a couple pennies back and you think that you're doing well. God, I can go on and on about this crap. But just see what's going on and just decide if you want to contribute to the problem or if you want to contribute to a solution. At the end of the day, it's your money. Do whatever the heck you want to do with it. That's all on you. I'm just throwing some information out there, something to consider. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to change who you are. It's up to you to change who you are. This is just my perspective. It's just my opinion. It means absolutely nothing to those who it doesn't apply to. That's it. Brandon Green, owner of Gold Element Autoworks. I just wanted to clear my mind about a thought that I had. Okay, talk to you guys later. Stay in touch. Go to my website, www.goldelementautoworks.com, and there's more content, more information there. I have a lot of work that I have to do. I have a lot of coilover jobs that's coming in, Mercedes, that need to be customized or modified or fixed or whatever, here locally and from out of state. So I got work to do. I also got to do the sales, online sales stuff. And I got to pay sales tax all the daggone time. It is frustrating. Yeah. Whatever. It's a lot of work when it comes to entrepreneurship. Just know that. Being your own boss is not easy. I don't care what the internet or social media tells you. It is hard work. Just know that. And because I do everything myself right now, it's very difficult. I mean, I do the work. I do the sales. I do the customer service. I do my financial books. You know what I mean? I do the marketing. I'm everything. So maybe I need to hire somebody else too. But you got to have the same passion and love that I have. I can't bring you on and then take my company down. It needs to be going up, right? So unless it's an upgrade, it's not necessary, right? Having more free time is beneficial, but the payout, the money has to balance out. the gains versus what I'm putting out in order to create a more sustainable and efficient business, right? Has to make sense. So anyways, we'll talk about that later. I just went on a little rant. Thanks for listening. Talk to you guys later. More content on the way. Peace out. Stupid.